Welcome to Crypto Rosetta. My name is Savage, and today we're going to be having a look at Ethereum. Let's get into the price action and see what's going on. Okay, so the first thing that I want to talk about here is the fact that this count is potentially still alive here. The problem I have with this is with BTC looking to actually potentially break lower, this wouldn't really make any sense. So we need to just bear in mind that though this is still valid, and we are still holding this support zone, I am a bit cautious about this count. Losing the 1686 would invalidate the potential of looking at this as a bigger diagonal pattern, as a potential 1, 2, and then we'd be looking for that possibility to move up towards this 2346, where this becomes A, B, and C. Or alternatively, if this does look to push up high enough towards this 2720 area, this could actually, in fact, be a wave 3. So this is what we are keeping an eye on within the structures here. So this is what we're keeping an eye on within the structures here. I want to see if we actually maintain this support zone of this 1770. If we start to break down below the 1770, it starts to become less likely that we have this continuation to the upside here. So now what I want to see within this, the problem is there's a couple of ways of counting this move, and it is quite choppy, particularly in this area here. So this is making me worried that we could actually have something like this, either as a B, and a C, where we have the diagonal B wave, C wave, and that's complete. That could mean that this Y wave is completed into this low here. Or alternatively, this could then become an A wave. We get a B wave to the upside and a C wave to the downside, which could potentially look to take us towards a 1739 area. However, this B wave also potentially could still be incomplete. And for as long as we stay below this zone here, of this 1948, what we could actually still see is a more corrected move here, where this is A, B, and C, and we get a push up into this zone one more time and look to potentially target up some of these higher levels. So if this is the case, however, we also need to be on the lookout. 1-to-1 would actually be here, this 1891. So that could actually put us in this zone for a double top if we do look to push up again in a three-way move. So this would then potentially make this a W, an X, and a Y. We could also argue that this is A, this is X, and then we're looking for Y. It could also be that we're starting to develop a flature, where this will be A, this will be B, and then we could see a C wave in a five-way move. So unfortunately, because of how choppy this has got here, I was looking at the idea of actually continuing to break down, but we've started to move sideways here, like this, ranging. So it makes it less likely that we're following that original count through the downside that we were originally having a look at, but we will discuss that. So if we do get a push up here, what I'd be looking for is basically, as long as we remain below this 1948 level, this could actually just become a bigger B wave here, and we could get a C wave to the downside. It is also possible that within the structure, we could already be starting this move to the downside for the C wave, and that would look, that would be something like this. If we do still have, if we get a retracement to the upside and we fail to actually take this high here, what we could see is that this becomes, instead of an A, B, and a C, this could become a W, this could become an X, this could then become a Y, where we have this as A, B, and C to the downside, which could look to bring us down towards, lower down towards this 1-to-1, which would be here at the 1780. So if we do get an additional breakdown here, that's what an area I'll be paying particular attention to if this is just in a three-wave move like this. However, if we develop this as a bigger five-wave move, potentially we could look to actually move down towards the 1739 area. But what I would want to see, if this is still going to be maintaining the possibility of looking to break to the upside here, what we'd want to see is this move come down here and then get back above the 786 at the 1770 and start to progress to the upside at that point. Failing to do so could mean that we have something else going on. And so we're going to talk about that other potential that we could be looking for the breakdown. So one of the things we were talking about previously is that, potentially we have this as 1, 2. This would have been third wave here, potentially a flat, running flat correction as a fourth wave here, and then possibility of that fifth wave already being completed. So if this is the case, what this means is that we could be looking for a B wave to the upside again. Once again, this is going to be the zone here, this 2068 to this 1975. If we just get three-wave structure to the upside, something like this. Potentially, this could mean that this then becomes A. We get a B wave here, and we look to push down for a C wave and come down lower, potentially towards the zone of the 1722. We obviously don't have confirmation of that yet, but what we could see is something like this. Another thing I'm just being a little bit aware of, even though it is not the cleanest of structures, I'm just keeping an eye on the fact that if we did something like this, potentially we could come back and set up for a bigger head and shoulders pattern here, where we have a bigger head and shoulders here, which could actually look to, push us down much deeper. So we're just going to have to keep an eye on that. Obviously, it hasn't broken yet, so and really this right shoulder at the moment is nothing really in comparison to this one. So it is a little bit iffy in my opinion, but just something worth keeping an eye on anyway. So this is why we're looking for, the potential to come back up here. If we did get a higher move into this zone, potentially it would actually, look to make this really untidy in that case. But if we get a shallower move, potentially this could actually look to still look to break down. Okay, so now within this counter, there are a couple of ways we can look at this. And because of the fact that we are looking at this pretty messy bit here. It could actually indicate that this move is starting to extend out. And we were talking about this from further back here, where we could either be extending out in the fifth wave or the third wave, where this becomes basically 1, 2. This could become 3, 4 here. And then actually we're looking to extend out. The alternative is that this third wave extended, where this becomes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. If that's the case, what this would mean is that potentially we're looking for a fourth and a fifth wave here. So that would be looking at actually something more along the lines of this, in which case, what we'd be looking for as a rejection point would be this 1891, pretty much to this 1969 area. And we'd be looking for basically a three-wave structure to the upside. We have pretty much met that requirement already. So if we get a direct breakdown here towards the zone of this 1809 to the 1785, potentially this could be a fifth wave completed, in which case what we'd be looking for is that potential for a reversal to the upside. What we would want to see if this is the case is a break back above this fourth wave and starting to actually get a move back to the upside here. Once again, if we do break down like this, we need to be cautious, because if we do have a bigger five-wave move like this is potentially going to become an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave, and that could actually look to take us back down into some of those lower areas we've been talking about previously as support, which could be this higher range would be between this 1805 at a 382 to this 1506, and that would be looking at this move as an A wave here, or a wave 1 to the upside, and then looking for this as a B wave or a wave 2 to the downside. If, however, we start to lose this higher zone here, and we actually come back down and take out this 1368, potentially we could still find support here above this 1246. But I'd start to get cautious if we start to lose this zone of this 1246, because this would then potentially mean that, within here, we would have by that point already had a pretty strong move to the downside, which could, depending on the structure, mean that this is a bigger impulse, and we could actually still see these lows get broken and we move down towards this 723 to this $523 area. So this is what we need to be aware of, until we actually come back and take these highs, we need to be careful of extension to the downside here. So this is always something we need to be mindful of when we start to see five-wave structure developing. It is a little bit choppy, like I said, in this area here. So what we need to be careful of is just another interpretation that I'm looking at because of the fact of the choppiness. It's not my preferred count at the moment, but if this does confirm the count by basically having a direct push down towards the 1735, this would actually start to make more sense then, is that within this, the third wave is actually extending, where we've got this as a 1, 2, got another 1, 2 here, 1, 2, and then basically this would mean we'd have a 3, 4, 5, which could look to take us down into the 1722 area, followed by an additional fourth wave, another fifth wave, another fourth wave, and another fifth wave. This would then potentially make this all a bigger wave 3, and potentially then we would be looking for a much lower target. If it plays out exactly as I might have it marked out, 1658 to 1619 would be a potential zone for this to complete. Then we would actually have to be aware that we could have an additional fourth and a fifth at the bottom end of this. So, this is something that's just keeping it in mind as long as we fail to actually break back above this high over here of this 1923. If we break back above 1923, it would make this idea fall apart. But really what we want to do, if we want to look for that continuation to the upside, is, we need to get back above this high here of this 1982 and finally taking the high of this whole move at this 2141 area. Until we actually do that, we need to be cautious that this move could look to actually break down deeper. So this is what we need to be careful of within the bigger picture here. So one thing I'm looking out for on the smaller time frame here is looking for that possibility that we could have completed that fourth wave, which could just be W, X, and Y, and it's done. Or alternatively, what we could have here is a bigger flat formation forming where this is A, this is forming a B wave here, and then we're looking for a C wave to the upside. So if this is the case, potentially what we'd be looking for is a move down into this zone of this 1825 to this 1803. Technically speaking, though, it's come down deep enough, so it could actually just be that this is A, this is B, and then we're looking for a C wave. That C wave 1-to-1, if we were to turn around at this current point, would actually be here at this 1892. And then we would have to, potentially look for that possibility of a reversal again. If it continues to find support, possibly there is still the potential that we could look to push up higher. Um, and we'd have to just see exactly how high this comes. If we're looking at this as a flat, it can be anywhere between this 1-to-1 and this 1.618, which would be up here at this 1933. So we'll have to keep an eye on this structure here. If we break down one more time, come down towards this 1803 area, find support, and then start to form five-wave move to the upside, then this would become my favorite interpretation is of the move. And, this would be basically the next thing I'd be looking out for is that potential to find a rejection in this zone here of this 1913 to this 1888 area. So this is just what we're looking out for on the smaller time frame here. But really, until we actually take this high again, this could actually just start to break down where this becomes wave 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we actually start that biggest sell-off that we just discussed. And which could either look to complete it could either look to complete the fifth wave that we're looking at, where this is a fourth wave, where we come down towards this 1804 to the 1780. The problem is within the structure, the if we had to form another move up here, yeah, I mean, potentially it would be towards the lower end of this, but we'll have to actually see how deep this retracement comes. If it's shallow, then it could actually mean that we extend out past this zone, and that could actually then tie into that idea of rather having the bigger breakdown where, potentially we're looking for this 1735 as a bigger third wave target area. So this is why we need to be careful on this area. Potentially this could look to turn around to the upside and look to invalidate this. But until it does, we need to just be mindful that a direct sell-off path down to the 1735 could mean that we actually have much deeper to come. Okay, so I'm going to leave the video there. I hope you found it useful. If you did, please smash the like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, turn on those bell notifications so you never miss a video, and leave us some feedback down below. Also in the description, you'll find a link to Discord. Come check it out. It's free to join. As well as that, you'll find affiliate links for both Primex BT and BYBIT down there. Both great exchanges we use on a regular basis. If you do not have an account, using the affiliate link does help support the channel, and we do appreciate it. Everyone have a great day. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.